A vehicle traveling on a straight road. Everything is going as it should. No sudden maneuvers, no unexpected movements. But another driver, approaching from behind, can't adjust his speed. Maybe absent-mindedness, maybe carelessness. And within seconds, the unexpected happens. The car slams hard into the car in front of it. Such accidents are often dismissed as simple following distance violations. But the consequences can be much more serious than we think. The car in the footage suddenly makes a U-turn, neither signaling nor checking the surroundings. But the oncoming vehicle has no chance to stop. This erroneous U-turn causes an accident in an instant. This is not just carelessness. This is disregard for traffic and human life. U-turns should only be made where it is safe and permitted, because every wrong decision can lead to irreparable consequences in a few seconds. The road seemed calm. Everything was ordinary. But all of a sudden, the cars in front of him got into each other. A chain accident, like a chain of inevitable collisions. Before the driver even realized what was happening, he reflexively swerved to the right and stopped just in time. Maybe if he had been a few seconds later, he would have been a link in that chain. Sometimes a moment of attention can be the turning point of a life. Traffic is flowing, everyone is on their own way, but there is always someone who ignores the rules. This car is changing lanes at speed, once more. It's like being on a racetrack, and then it happens. He swerves uncontrollably. He sideswipes a car. In an instant, everything's upside down. The sound of brakes, metal flying, just a few seconds, but a lifetime of impact. This is not just an accident. The silent scream of how one person's carelessness endangers the lives of others. Rules, not arbitrary. Saves lives. Going fast, in the left lane without taking his foot off the gas. But then for a moment, there is a moment of indecision. Should I turn right? Or should I turn left? That momentary hesitation can cost a life. Within seconds, he can't make up his mind. And there it is. The steering wheel turns right and left, but it's too late. The vehicle loses control, and with a great noise, it hits the center barrier. Dust, smoke, metal meets concrete. Sometimes it's not the speed. Not knowing what to do at that speed will kill you. Being on the road is not just going. The right decision gains meaning when it is made at the right moment. Everything seemed calm. A vehicle was driving in its own lane in a controlled manner. Its target was clear, the gas station on the right. But at that moment, another car coming from the opposite direction was trying to turn into the same gas station. One of them was following the rules, the other making a sudden turn from the opposite lane, and then the inevitable. Two vehicles collided right at the entry point. One moment of haste, 1 second of bad judgment, and there's no turning back now. Sometimes our destination may be the same, but the way our paths cross changes destiny. The road itself is not dangerous, but how we use it determines everything. He was moving calmly on the road, but his attention drifted from the road, maybe a moment of distraction, maybe a glance at the phone, and then the car went out of control. It went straight into a telephone pole. It was raining. The road was slippery, visibility was limited. Suddenly, the car went out of control and skidded into the barriers. Wet asphalt is unforgiving. When speed is not combined with caution, the result is always the same, an accident. Traffic was flowing. Everyone was on their own way, but one car suddenly tried to make a U-turn, hadn't checked the cars behind it. A sudden movement. And within seconds, the collision happened. Maybe he was in a hurry, Maybe it was a moment of inattention, but every movement on the road can have a price, because we are not alone in traffic, and every step we take affects the safety of others. He was moving through the tunnel. Closed environment, low light, narrow road, everything was under control. Until that moment, suddenly, a small electric vehicle from the construction site jumped uncontrollably onto the road without signaling. Before the driver could react, the rear car hit hard. Tunnels are already risky, but this, combined with carelessness, makes them even more dangerous. The road was calm. The driver was careful, he didn't exceed his speed. But danger always comes from somewhere else. This time it was underground. Suddenly, the tires got stuck in a deep hole. The vehicle shook, lost its balance, and tumbled through the air. There was no warning, no precautions. This pothole hiding in the middle of the road suddenly turned everything upside down. Because the greatest danger in traffic is sometimes the invisible one. The road was straight. There were no curves, no heavy traffic. But sometimes even on the simplest of roads, the danger comes out of nowhere. For some unknown reason, the driver lost control of the steering wheel, and the car crashed into a pole on the side of the road. A moment of absent-mindedness. And the result, a heavy price. Just because the road is straight doesn't mean that everything is fine. The road was moving. Traffic was moving normally. But suddenly, the truck in front switched to the left lane without signaling. Before the car coming from behind could even realize what had happened, it hit the truck, which appeared like a giant wall in front of it. This was not just a lane change. It was the line between life and death. A big vehicle means big responsibility. An oncoming car was in the opposite lane. Within seconds, they collided, and with the force of the impact, the car flipped on its side. This was not just an accident. It was the heavy price of ignoring the rules. Reverse lane. It's not the road, it's the mind that goes wrong. And sometimes, one person's mistake turns someone else's life upside down.